called The Gap in the Tweets. Hi, I'm Lauren, CEO of Moving On TV, having an easy day today. I'm lying in bed, taking time out, listening to the birds. Now, The Gap is not a program about birds, okay? It's just that I'm realizing the important programs that I want to produce on Moving On TV. And this program is going to be called The Gap in the Tweets. And as I say, we're not talking about birds and we're not talking about Twitter. We're talking about the gap, okay? The most important word in this equation is the gap, all right? The gap, the gap. Sorry, my hat's falling off. The gap. Okay, so I'm doing a series of programs on here, which I'm going to edit at some point and put them on Moving On TV as new introductions to new programs that we're going to be producing for you on Moving On TV. Okay? And so today I've been inspired to create all these new programs. So this is a preview for a program called The Gap in the Tweets. So what do I mean? Let's say the tweets are an analogy of our thoughts. Let's say the tweets are an analogy in our addictions. Let's say the tweets are an analogy in our anger, our feelings, not feelings, thoughts, addictions. The tweets are an analogy, all right, to our thoughts, our addictions, everything, our support systems, everything that we hold on to, our attachments. The gap is the bit in the middle, the gap, right? Now, the reason this program is materializing or manifesting is because I'm listening to the birds. I've got this huge peace that's coming to me from listening to the birds. Now and then, the birds symbolically are this: the thoughts, attachments, ideas. Your mind is creating the ego, addictions even. Jumping around your head, the birds. If you watch the film The Birds with Hitchcock, there's a symbolic message in The Birds. It talks about the subconscious. It talks about our fears, the birds, right? So what if I was to say to you that you can heal any addiction with this gap? I'm not kidding you. You can do it. You can do it with this gap. All right? And I'm going to teach you. Moving On TV is going to teach you. Because I'm doing it. And for a long time, I did it without realizing. I did it with food. Because I had my big issue was food. Food. So the gap in the tweets. So the tweets could be drink, smoking, drinking, talking too much, needing to perform, your work, addiction to relationships, codependency, working too hard, not working at all, addictions, I said addictions, food addictions, sex addictions, codependency, drink, smoking, drugs, whatever you fall back on. It could be your emotions, out of control emotions, the tweets, that's your tweets. So the birds have stopped tweeting now. There's nothing, listen, there's nothing. Silence is golden. What does silence sound like? What does silence sound like? The gap. They're tweeting again. What if I was to say to you, you can heal any addiction by using the gap? You'd say, I was promising you the world if you wanted, if you were out of it, your denial. The gap, that's all you need, the gap. And all you need is a few seconds in the gap. Seconds. Because cravings can go down within seconds. I've worked it, I've done it. Say you want a piece of chocolate and you know it's probably not the best thing for you to have at the moment, maybe. Sit with it. Sit with it. Sit with it. That's what they told me in the therapeutic community, Lauren. Sit with it. Breathe. Feel it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The mind's going, I want chocolate. The body's going, I want chocolate, because the body's following the mind. Sit with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. I can guarantee you that craving will have gone. It will. Try it. Some of you may need more, maybe a minute. 1 minute at a time. Before you do something that may sabotage you or hurt you, like maybe you don't need to take that drink, maybe you don't need that cigarette, the gap. The mind will say, I need that cigarette. I need that drink. Oh, I need it. I need it. I really need it. The mind is telling you, then the body feels it. I need it. The gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe. It's gone. The craving's gone. It's gone. I've tested it. I've tested it and it works. Like you could be sitting there and thinking, oh, I want to go and I want to make a massive big bowl of popcorn. I really do. I want popcorn. I want popcorn. The mind, I want popcorn. I want a massive big bowl of popcorn, which I don't care if it dehydrates me because it's not really good for me at the moment to have. But I want it and the body wants it. Then you bring in the gap. Okay, I'm going to sit for 5 seconds with this. I want popcorn, 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 I want popcorn. I don't want popcorn. Then the intelligence comes in and says to you, if you have a whole bowl of popcorn now and you haven't drunk enough water, you will get dehydrated and you'll feel like shit. Another one. It's a gap. I demonstrated before, if you watched the program before, how I played the part of Edith Piaf when she lost her child. A good actor pauses in between lines. In the therapeutic community, they told me to sit with it. And before I got my spiritual awakening, I sat with it. I sat with it. I went home that night and I sat with the worst feelings, emotions. My head was telling me I was a bad person. I was going to do terrible things. Terrible things. that I'm dangerous, that I'm bad. I sat with it. The gap. I sat and I sat and I sat with it. The gap. Breathe. The gap between the tweets. A wonderful new program of Moving on TV. My playground. That's what Moving on TV is, guys. I play. I play. It's life. Life is a game. And Moving on TV is a game for me. I play. No one's watching. It doesn't bother me. Because it's going out into the universe somehow. No one's watching, so what? It's going out to the universe. I am playing. Moving on TV is my pitch, my football pitch, if you're watching. Moving on TV is my opportunity to play and do what I love and teach and emote. I don't cry anymore, except when I'm trying to show you the gap. Don't be scared of the gap. The gap is when the birds stop tweeting. It's gone. They're gone. This. How many people will watch me sitting here saying nothing? Oh, you'll watch and you'll see, oh my God, her hair is so red. That's the first thing you'll think. Does it suit Laurene or not? Should she be a redhead? Should she dye her hair? That's the tweeting. Tweet, 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 tweet. Shall I give her a like? Shall I give her an unlike? Is Laurene mad? Is Laurene wise? Who is she? What is she? Why doesn't she get people watching Moving on TV? Is that because she's a loser? Why is she so happy? Why am I not happy? Why am I happy? Why is Laurene happy? I hate her. I hate her. I love her. She's too much like me. Come watch her. Those eyes. Those eyes. If I look into those eyes, what do I see? Do I see the truth? Do I see me? Why when I look deep into her eyes? What's so scary about Lauren's eyes? The gap. I don't like her teeth. She's got horrible teeth. Problem, that one. She won't go to the dentist. What's the matter with her? And it goes on and on and on. Till that's your tweets. Tweet, tweet, tweets. The gap. Do you ever get a gap? God, I'm so grateful I do. It's taken me a lot of work, guys. A hell of a lot of work. You saw me on here every day crying my eyes out because I had no one. No people, no places, no things, no addictions. Didn't want to eat. Didn't want to, I don't drink, don't smoke, whatever. Don't take drugs. But now, the gap. Do you want to learn to be peaceful? I don't give a shit what you think about my teeth. I don't give a shit what you think about me. I don't. All I care about is teaching you to be in love with you. And if you're in love with you, battery's going down. If you're in love with you, then you'll sit with that gap and you'll think, why does Lauren's physical appearance bother me? Because it doesn't bother Lauren. So why does it bother me? In the therapeutic community, there were people that tried to get rid of me because they couldn't, as they said, make me better. What was that? I used to look at them and say, why do you want to fix me? Why do you want to fix me? And when I recovered, they left. Why did they leave? Because I was in the gap. I had let go of my childhood abuse and the guilt that I thought it was my fault. And I was in the gap. And I would look at them and say, thank you. And I'm really grateful. You're my teacher. The gap. Oh, you will have loads of distractions trying to distract you. Whoever you are, whether you're a gamer that can't stop playing. So I play on Moving On TV, but I have my gaps. Thank you for the like. It's lovely to get a like, but I don't care. But it's lovely. Thank you. 5D. Whoever thought? I've been in it on and off. When I came out of the community, I was in 5D for a while. Then when I went on the stage, I was in 5D. Then the lockdown happened. Yeah. And I lost everything. And that, 5 years. Five. No, I'm not supposed to say. Baba Bertha. 5. Sometimes I'm gone past 5D. Maybe today. I'm in the gap. So the new program's going to be called The Gap Between the Tweets. I'm learning a hell of a lot from the birds. Weird. Just one day, I said, I want a higher power that doesn't involve humans, doesn't involve singing, acting, dancing, work. This thing that is higher than me, that is called God. So the tweeting of the birds is God. Yeah? Because it's never going to end. Unless humanity ends and the world ends, we'll always have tweeting of birds. Do you agree with me? We're always going to have the tweets. So if you're going to have the tweets, that can be your higher power. And I thought, I was asking every day, I know I'm powerless. I'm powerless. I can't function. I can't stop this stuff, people, places, things, obsessions. I can't stop. The mind. That was step 1. Came to believe a power greater than myself can help restore me to sanity was step 2. So what's it going to be, Lauren? Are you going to go on Moving On TV and sing all night and all day? Is that going to be your step 2? No. Because I'm losing my voice. I'm exhausted. What if I lose my voice? What if the internet goes? No, that can't be my higher power. People, places, things, no. Codependency. So, came to believe, step 2, power greater than myself. What could that be? Can't be food? How can it be food? Food could go, but food can't be a power greater than me. That's the body demanding, it's craving. Can't be drink, can't be smoking, can't be gaming, can't be addicted to programs on TV. Can't. What am I going to do? I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't have anybody. It's just the cats. The cats could die. Oh my God, they can't be step two. I have to find the gap. The same way I found the gap when I recovered in the therapeutic community. What is the gap when I go on the stage? The gap when I go on the stage is not singing, it's not audiences. What is the gap? Why am I happy? I'm in the moment. Why are you happy when you do what you love? It's like Tony Robbins says, it's not about the car you buy, it's about the pleasure it gives you. It's the sense of freedom that you can get in that car and whoosh. It's not the car. It's not the stage. It's not singing. It's not the applause. People say, oh, you go on for recognition. No, I don't. Why do I go on the stage? Something in here. The gap. Moving on TV gives me the opportunity to teach you what I'm learning. It's a very special TV station. It's about playing so you can find the gap. If I go on moving on TV because I want you to watch, if I go on moving on TV because I think, oh, no one's watching, I'm not going to find ascension. It's not going to work. Because people will watch this. Of course they'll watch it. Look, I go on here to teach. Of course I want people to watch. Because I want you to get happy, like me. But I go on here because I teach me. I teach me. Every time I create a new program, it's up to me to get on there and to teach through that program. And this preview is called The Gap Between the Tweets. I'm going to teach you not to need a drink, not to need a cigarette, not to need any bodily thing that may be dragging you down. Addictions, codependency. To not talk when you don't need to talk. I'm talking because I'm teaching. I'm going to teach you to not need that extra piece of chocolate cake if you don't really need it. You don't want it. The first piece is, yeah, this is nice, I like it. Do not have that extra drink because you don't need it. You don't want it. Spirit doesn't want you to drink. Spirit doesn't want you if you were needed to smoke, you would have been born with a chimney. If you were supposed to drink, you would have been born with a liver that tolerates alcohol. It is fire. Now, don't get me wrong. You do need the occasional drink, and I'm not judging anybody. I'm just very grateful that I'm not an alcoholic, and I'm not, but I am an addict. I am an addict. Not me. This body is an addict. And the only way I can heal my addictions, because God knows I've tried with codependency, the best way to heal codependency is the 12 steps. But you need to know what's wrong with you first. You can't do it until you realize it. So do step 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. That's all. Realize your issues. Know that you completely can't cope. You need to surrender because you cannot. Codependency is everything. everything. It's why you drink, why you smoke, why you take drugs, why you sleep with loads of people. It doesn't matter. Or why you don't sleep with people at all. Whether you're celibate, that's a sex addiction. If you don't have any sex or you have too much, it's all about balance. So I'm a sex addict because I've had none for God knows how long. I'm a sex addict, aren't I? It's about balance. Look, I don't care. I say everything on here. You know everything about me. You know that I don't have half my bottom teeth. So what? I expose myself to the spiritually in every single way. I have absolutely no fear of that. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to expose myself because, if you know what I mean, I'll be arrested and thrown away. But I'm protecting my humility. Sorry. I'm happy, yeah. But I'm not... If we lived in a country where everybody walked around naked, then I would too. But no. You don't want to do that at the moment. It's too cold. Sorry. The gap, right? Maybe part of my addictions is I've got to make a joke out of everything. People do that. But what I'm saying to you is experiment with it, have fun with it, and that's what moving on TV is. So people come on and they say comments. I know who they are, and I know who one of them is, and I know why they did it. They did it because they wanted to see. They're playing. They're trying to find their joy. They're playing with me. And so I wipe them off and then I bring them back. Because they're helping me to find the gap. All they are projections of me. You are me and I am you. Sounds like I am the walrus. You are me and I am you. I am the walrus. Maybe that's why the Beatles wrote that when they were stoned. Because they could see the mirrors everywhere. Mirror, mirror everywhere. So when people come on to Moving on TV and they say, sorry, in the middle, sorry, we couldn't stop laughing, me and Emmanuel and Luke and Martin was bland. One of you came on. Sorry, I can't. It was stupid. It was funny. It was funny. It made me laugh. And we just burst out laughing because I can't even say it. Laurene, control yourself. You're an actress. I'm laughing, right? Laughter therapy, but because it was just so funny in the middle of a conversation we were having about what were we talking about, moving on TV and moving forward and love. And somebody came on. Sorry. It tickled my fancy, as my mum would say. I can't. First of all, they came on and they said that we just went the gap where it was like, that was the gap. It was like, what did they put on Moving on TV? I've just taken a poo. I'm not kidding you. I've just taken a poo. It was like, what? I mean, this is grown-ups. Anyway, we were, it was like, that was the gap. We just couldn't stop laughing. It was so ridiculous in the middle of the conversation. And then someone goes on and says, Laurene, are you a pedophile? Oh, for God's sake. And I'm laughing now because they knew what they were doing. Oh, they knew what they were doing. They needed me to face my shadow. And I'm grateful. So some of the comments that they put on there, I mean, you've got to laugh. I mean, and I don't wipe them when they put the toilet humor because it's funny. But it's not suitable for Moving on TV as such. But come on, sometimes, you know, I have got a sense of humour. So don't do it. And then I get apologies from some of you, not all of you. One of you in particular says, I'm sorry, Lauren, because I have healthy boundaries. But if you want to put on there, I just farted, you know. Oh, God, I just farted. My Baba Bertha said last night, the other day in the bath, yesterday. What are we supposed to do with that? Why do you do that? I mean, do you come on, moving on TV and do your comedy, but don't stick with I just farted and I'm having a poo, because it's not funny. Once it's funny, yeah, once, and then you have to go into sophisticated humor like Baba Bertha. Sophisticated humor, you know what I mean. So look, I know some of you have been making me face my shadow, one in particular. I know exactly who it is because of the comments and because my intuition is so strong. The gap. So I faced it. I face it. Do you hang around schools? To me, yeah. And it hurt. It hurt like hell. Oh, yeah, of course it did. Because I had to face the possibility that I'm human. And human beings do that. People that don't have morals and a conscience do that. And how dare you say that to holier than thou, Lauren Hope Glory? Do you hang around schools looking for? How dare you say that? That's the ego. The ego. And why did that trigger you, Lauren? Why? So go inside and figure it out. And so you do. And then you get peace. And the battery's going. So hang on a second or else I'm going to lose you. And I don't want to lose you guys because this is really important. Guys, I am promising you that you will get over your addictions. You will get over your addictions. I'm promising you. Now, who does that? I can guarantee you because I am. Excuse me. Right. The whole bedroom's a total mess. I'm not showing it to you guys. I've got to put the battery on. Guys, I am guaranteeing you that you will get over your addictions. Who does that? Me. I'm not making it up because I am. Perfectionism. Oh, look. You can see a bit of my hair. There you go. Why is that, if not a character defect? Who taught you to be so perfect, Lauren? Does it hurt? Does it hurt you that you can see that this is a wig because you can see the bits coming out of it? Does that bother you? Why? That was like in the therapeutic community where they used to say to me, I can't fix you. You're a mess. You never wear makeup. Why did that bother them? Now, the minute they were forced to sit with it like me, you ring your bell and you say, help. Oh my God, Lauren's upset me. She's so annoying. She doesn't want to wear makeup. She comes in here and she's like an annoying little mosquito buzzing around me with no shoes. That should be an encounters or in my book. An annoying little mosquito buzzing around me with no shoes. Yeah, that's how they saw me in the therapeutic community. An annoying little mosquito buzzing around me with no shoes. Some of them did. And then they rang their bell and went, help, I need support. And they get support from everyone because Lauren was such a terrible person. We've got to get her out of the community because she's waking people up. Shh, you mustn't do that. The king is in us all together, remember? Right. So they rang their bell and then they got the gap. And they had to go into therapy and figure out why Who was Laurene? Who did she represent? And why does it bother me so much that Laurene won't wear makeup and runs around without any shoes on? I'm not kidding you. That was the therapeutic immunity. And I'm not trying to show you my cleavage. It's just the way the phone is hanging. But you can look at it if you want. I'm proud of it there. I'm all woman. I love being a woman. Took me a long time to get to there. It took me a long time to appreciate my womanhood. And I love it now. I have a nice balance between my masculinity and my femininity. And that's nice. That's alignment. That's when you're coming into alignment. Right? So, the gap. The gap is what we're talking about, right? So be proud of who you are or what you are. The gap between the tweets, I would tell you things that happened to me in the therapeutic community like I am now. What happened when the tweets ended? Bliss. Total bliss. What happened when the mind, one day, one morning, one night, I jumped out of my sleep in total terror. Oh my God, I don't want to go back. Don't let me go back. Don't let me go back to the therapeutic community, please. Don't let me go back. And then the light bulb went, Laurene, you don't have to go back to the dentist. You don't have to go back to the man that's abusing you. You don't have to. It's over. It's over. Dad took you away, remember? And anyway, it wasn't your fault, sweetheart. It wasn't your fault, sweetheart. It was Mom and Dad. They were stupid. They sent you back to the man that was abusing you. That wasn't your fault. Light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, boom. I was free. I was free. Simply amazing. Chapter 8. Read it. And that was it. For a while, total bliss. The gap. The gap. Because the guilt had come off. So guys, if you live with guilt, it's just a complete waste of energy to have guilt. Children grow up, they don't have gaps. They don't understand like we do. If you're an adult, you can get that gap. I guarantee you. With me, I'll teach you. I'll teach you to not need that drink, to not need that cigarette, to not need to sleep with that person just because you need, your id is telling you to, your body, to not need to shout, to not need to, whatever, go and shout. I'm not talking about letting your emotions out. You do need to do that in between the gaps. Okay, so that's your new program. There's 4 new programs starting on Moving On TV. And this one is called The Gap Between the Tweets. And so I am going to go now and take a gap. I'm going to eat. And everything is about balance. Could that be a new program? Finding the balance. No. That'll be part of the gap. Because guys, if you take too much of a gap, then you're not going to be happy either. Unless, look, if you're an alcoholic or into drugs or whatever, you do need to let that go. And you may need to let go of your addictions in order to come back into the middle, right? Because if you have a chemical issue, you cannot drink. You cannot take that drink. You cannot take that drug. If you are an addict, an alcoholic or a drug addict, you cannot take anything that reminds you of drink. That's where the steps come in and you have to work them. But if you're like me and you're addicted to people, if you're addicted to people or food, you have to eat. You have to find a balance. It's all about balance. And so the gap is also balance. And so I'm going to go now because the battery's dying, and because I love you, and I hope you enjoyed these little vlogs that I'm giving you. And they will go on Moving On TV with new introductions for new programs. If you want me to do a specific type of program, then let me know. If you've got any ideas, because Spirit has given me 4 or 5 new programs here. But if you have a new program you want Moving On TV to do, then let me know. I think there's another one called The Many Identities of Laurene Hope Glory. A bit like Catherine Tate, you know. There's a Laurene in there, isn't there? Laurene. Am I bothered? Anyway, I'd like you to contact me at movingontv1@gmail.com if you have got any specific programs that you feel Moving On TV should be doing to help the human race. As I think we're doing a really large section now, but a debate would be amazing. But I need people to come on and debate. Of course, I've got Vlad Emmanuel Martin, but I'm more interested in the public now as well joining us. Please subscribe, share and like. Come on board Moving On TV. I love you guys. And I'm now going to eat a meal. Please make sure you don't get too hungry, too angry, too lonely, too tired. You don't need to be lonely because you've got Moving On TV. You can always call us on 07437 532 798. Talk about your dreams and we'll bring you on. I love you lots. Bye.